This is Brian Andres from Drum Magazine, and this is the Afro-Caribbean Practice Pad video lesson. All right, so the focus on today's lesson is some fills that you can play stylistically in Afro-Cuban, Latin jazz, salsa, whatever the medium is. We're going to talk about a fill that'll get you into the tune, that will bring the dynamic down, and then bring the dynamic back up. So there's three categories there. Okay, so to get into a tune, we're going to use what's commonly called an abanico. All right, it's basically just a roll that starts on the 4 and ends on the 1 of the next measure. It can be any kind of roll. It can be a 6-stroke roll, 5-stroke roll, 9-stroke roll. The tempo is going to determine that, and then your just preference is going to work that out as well. So what we want to think about, though, is the direction of clave, because we're going to add a note in front of the roll that's going to line up with one of the notes of clave. So if I'm just playing an abanico by itself, roll from 4 into the 1, it's going to sound like this, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so from 4 to the 1. But we're going to use clave as a setup for that. So in example 1, we're going to have a 3-2 direction, and I'm going to play the 3, the quarter note of 3, and then roll on the 4 into the 1. So to give you an idea what that sounds like with clave, 3-2 direction, up, rap. All right. So it sounds like this. All right, so I'm catching that quarter note on the 3 because it lines up with the clave. All right, so example 1 is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so example 2, we're just going to flip the direction of the clave. So now we're going to be playing a 2-3 direction clave. So I'm going to catch the and of 2 and then roll 4 into the 1, because that and of 2 is going to be part of the clave on the 3 side. All right, so example 2 is going to be just the abanico into a groove. So example 2 sounds like this. 1, 2, 1. Okay, so for example 3, we're going to talk about a real very simple fill that will happen when you want the dynamic in the song to drop. Classic example would be if there's setting up a piano solo, if the song is really kind of at its crescendo and you really want the bottom to drop off for this piano solo to be a feature, this is a fill you want to do. It's simply just 4 and at the end of the phrase. All right, just 2 high notes, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, can be also played on the timbale. So example 3 would sound like this. I'm going to play some time that's kind of up, and then you'll hear that 4 and then I'll drop the dynamic down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so example 4 is just adding another kind of classic call that sets up the 4 and that we did in example 3. So when you're playing a groove, you're playing with a conga player, timbale player, any other percussionist in a Latin jazz or salsa context, it's very common to hear this call. It's going to start on the and of 3 and play the and of 3, the and of 4, the and of 1, and then the 2. And generally that's going to be played low, low, high, high, and then you hit 4 and. So it's going to sound like this. This will be example 4. I'll play a little bit of time. I'll play that little fill, and then you'll hear 4 and the bottom will drop out dynamically. So example 4 is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. with example 5, we're going to talk about how you can boost the energy and the dynamic up with this fill. So it's just coming from a point where you're lower in dynamic and you want to raise that intensity up. So what we're going to do is taking a 2-3 clave direction, we're going to play on the 3 side 1, 2, and. It's commonly dum dum ba. And we're going to hit a crash and a snare on the and of 2, which is going to line up with the clave, and then I'm going to do an abanico into the 1. All right, so this will be example 5. I'm going to play a little time. I'm going to do that fill, and then I'll bring the dynamic up. Example 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So example 6 is that same basic idea, but we're going to spice it up just a teeny bit. Leading into the 1, 2, and, we're going to add a floor tom part. It's just going to be the and of 4. So instead of 1, 2, and, now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's just a small little way to add a little spice to that fill. So just like I did before, I'll play a little time. I'll do that fill, and I'll bring the dynamic up. So this will be example 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, example 7, same concept, but we're going to change the direction of the clave. We're going to be 3-2 phrase now. So our fill is going to be on the 2 side of the clave, and we're just going to play 1, 2, and then we're going to play an abanico into the next measure. So phrasing of the 1, 2, I'm just going to play kick, snare, and crash cymbal. And then my abanico is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to play the abanico from snare to low drum on the 1, and then accent the and of 1 on the snare. To me, that really pushes a feeling of that I'm playing a 3-2 pattern. So it's something that I like to do. So I'm going to show it to you now. So this will be example 7. I'm going to play a little time in 3-2 clave, dynamically down, this new fill, and then I'll bring the dynamic up. So example 7 sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So example 8, pretty much the same as example 7, but we're going to throw in that little 2-note floor tom leading into the 1, 2. So just like we did with example 6, I'm going to play the anda on the floor tom leading into the 1, 2 of example 7. So example 8 is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, this is Brian Andres from Drum Magazine, and you've been watching the Afro-Caribbean Practice Pad lesson.